Aggression Talk number 29. It's exactly 6:11 a.m. I was up at 3:32 this morning, 3:32 exactly. And you guys know, and if you don't, I set my alarm for 4:25 every single morning. That's the time that I wake up. But when you get to this level of personal development, this level of discipline, and this level of commitment, it honestly gets hard to sleep. And I get amazing sleep. I wake up feeling great. There's still mornings where I wake up and it sucks. I'm like, I don't want to get up early. But my purpose is so strong within me that it is so much greater than any little spark of comfort I could feel, when waking up in the morning. And so, I got out of bed. I just finished. Today's Monday, so I just did my chest and bicep workout. And I got here by myself. No one's here. I got here, I think, 4:20, maybe 4:15 a.m. And this gym opens at 4. And I was super excited to listen to music during this workout, I'll be honest, because I didn't listen to music all yesterday. Yesterday was Sunday. It's like my reset day. And I got here, and what do you know? I didn't have my headphones. And it's pouring rain outside, so I'm trying to speak up so you guys can hear me, but I didn't have my headphones. I look in my bag, and I just kind of, that feeling of like, oh, fuck, like, just turn around and go back. But it's like a 25-minute drive, and I was like, no, that's stupid. Why would you do that? Go inside and work out without the headphones. And I was really excited to listen to music. I wanted to, but music is just a plus. It's just something that kind of adds to it and makes it better. But if I can't do it without the music, then I can't actually do it. We all enjoy listening to music when we work out, but I went in there, and was it as enjoyable? No, but I made the best of it. I got a great pump. I got a really good workout, and it's amazing. I'm fasted right now because I'm not in a state of growth. I'm in a state of focus. So I do my workouts fasted. I just switched that a couple of weeks ago, but really what I want to hit on today is the fact that you will lose everyone, almost everyone, on the path towards your destiny. And the reason I always start with the mornings is because the mornings are the absolute hardest thing for me. Looking back on my life, one of the hardest things, besides quitting my addictions, besides, quitting my addiction to porn at the beginning of my personal development journey, quitting my chronic addiction to weed, and it was chronic. I was smoking 7 times a day. I was smoking before I did anything, just because I could function way better than everyone else could when they were high. So I gave myself an out. I gave myself an option. I'm like, oh, you deserve it. And that's what a lot of you guys do in the morning. But thinking back on, when I used to live in my parents' house, right? And I was grinding every single day. I didn't have any proof of success besides my physique, but nothing material besides my physique. And, a lot of people will look at the physique and think that you just got it because of genetics, and you just got it because, of some other stuff. Like TikTok has just made, physiques and the personal development industry so soft. No one wants to accept the fact that you're actually working fucking hard, right? And if you have a bunch of friends, when you start your personal development journey, you start working on yourself. At first, they might be like, yeah, bro, yeah, like, get after it. But when you start putting yourself over them, which is actually way more selfish than you going out, getting drunk, playing grab ass with your little buddies at the bar, or going out and just smoking weed, going out and doing degenerate activities, that is actually more selfish. And you're doing all of your so-called friends, you're basically just stabbing them in the back by not holding them accountable. But when you start working on yourself, you start being like, nah, man, I got to go to bed because I got to wake up tomorrow and go do cardio. I got to wake up tomorrow and work on myself. I got to wake up tomorrow and climb to the next rung on the ladder towards my destiny. They start to get a little weird with you. they start to be like, oh, you got to enjoy the moment. I can't tell you how many, there's like dudes' faces that are coming up in my head that I cared about. And they'd be like, you got to celebrate your victories, bro. You got to look back and see how far you've come. And I'm like, motherfucker, how far have you come? I've come way farther than you, and I don't even celebrate my victories because I'm nowhere near where I want to be. That's you guys' problem. Every time you get a slight little win, you celebrate, and you give up the amount of tension that you've built with your discipline because you're like, oh, I deserve this little piece of celebration. And you're teaching your brain that the slightest amount of work deserves reward. The slightest amount of work deserves reward. When I get a huge win, I want to teach myself that that's just normal. That's just normal. But on this journey, you will get lonely when you develop that sort of mindset where you're that resilient, where you're thinking not just what can I do to get by, what's the lowest amount of work possible that I can do during the day and still, get 1% better. No. How much can I do each day? Do all that can be done each day. And when you adopt that mentality, that's when you really know you are on the path towards fulfilling your purpose, fulfilling your destiny. And that's when you'll start to see who's actually your friend. And there were so many mornings when I hadn't found myself and it was 4 a.m. and I was waking up and my body hurt and my nose was stuffy and I had a sore throat and I felt like shit and felt like I was making no progress and I didn't have anyone. I didn't even really have any friends that I felt like I could truly text because they didn't understand where I was coming from. And I would try to pour out my heart into them. I would try to be like, dude, look what I am learning. Like, you have to apply this. You have to apply this. But they didn't want it. And it's honestly sad because you can sow your seed. You can sow your seed. And if it falls on concrete, if it falls on bad soil, it will not reap. It will not blossom into, what that seed is capable of. And you can tell people over and over and over and over again. And eventually, if they're not willing to make sacrifices to grow with you, you gotta cut them off. You gotta cut them off. And there's a verse in the Bible, and it's like if your right hand, and I'm gonna butcher this, but if your right hand causes you to sin, cut it off. Obviously that's figurative, but it's saying even if you care about something that you care about that is like been valuable to you, if it is causing you to stray from your path, cut it off, snuff it out. If you have friends that are keeping you from waking up early, going to the gym consistently because they're always just that little voice in your ear like, it's okay, bro. Look at how far you've come. No. Dude, you are going to achieve insanely great things. Insanely great things. But you have to get your head out of your ass and start being like, I have to build and build and build and build and build and build. You have to use your struggle as stepping stones so that you can break through every single wall, every single level that you face. Don't just stop once you reach the bottom of the next level. Reach the top of the next level. And then that's the bottom of the new level. And then you climb the stairway to the top of the next level. Consistently. And there will be a period where your goals and your vision do not align with your old friends anymore. But you have not developed the skills or the value to hang around the people and grow with the people you want to be around. And you're gonna be alone. And it's going to suck. And there's going to be times where you're not making any progress. Your physique doesn't seem like it's getting better. And that can always be changed. That can always be changed. But there's something internal and there's something that's not computing with you. That's why you need to get with someone who knows more than you and stop just taking your information from TikTok. But there's going to be a time where it just seems like nothing is going your way. It is lonely. But you have to tell yourself, this is what difficult feels like. This is what hard feels like. When you were all comfortable and you were in that low position, you had just eaten a bag of Cheetos, smoked a blunt, fucked that girl, you had just gone out again when you told yourself you were going to wake up early, you just slept through your alarm, you didn't track your macros all day long, you skipped to the gym, you sat on the couch like a fat potato. There's going to be a time, so many times, when you're not thinking about how low you were. And you're like, man, this is so hard, this is so lonely, why am I doing it? But when you were in that state, you made a commitment to yourself. I don't care how hard it is, I'm gonna do it. And now that it's actually hard, you wanna give up? This is what you signed up for. This is what it takes to achieve that result that you're looking for. This is what it takes. And that's what's been so beautiful about me coaching and changing hundreds of lives, is because every person I work with, they're usually in that stage where they have no one. And I build connections with everyone. Everyone that's in my school community, the barrier to entry shows me and shows the other members that they are willing to emotionally invest in each other. On our weekly group calls in there, we are masterminding. Every single one of us is leveling up. Even me. Last group call, there's like 15 kids in there, and it's just wisdom, 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 wisdom. We're just flowing in flow state, growing from each other. Learning about training, nutrition plans. Everyone's talking about all my training plans that are uploaded in the school community, all my nutrition plans. I've uploaded every single thing that I've learned about my mindset, my habits, my nutrition, and my training, so that you can implement it into your mindset, habits, nutrition, and training, because that is the process. But that is what you need. When you feel lonely, you need that accountability. That's also what's so good about my elite clients that I work one-on-one with, is they're able to come to me because I've been in the position that they're in, no matter what they're going through. And I level with them. But you know what I had to do to get to the point where I can look at you and be like, the reason I get to say that your physique looks like shit and mine looks way better than yours is because I worked harder than you. I woke up on the days when you slept. When you didn't want to track your macros, I did it anyways. When you went out, got drunk, wasted the money that you don't even have, or the money that you did have, you just blew it, I was sleeping, I was plotting, I was eating the shit so that I could get to the position where I could teach others, because I went so low that I'm able to take everyone up from the bottom. The depth of your struggle determines the height of your success. And I've created an unbreakable process. But if your life is a wheel, your process must be the axle. But a lot of you guys, you develop maybe a little process for like a week. So you're rolling steady for a week. You're consistent. And then you break your process and your life starts bouncing up and down again because your wheel is deformed. You wonder why you're riding through life like this, up and down, instead of a constant growth and then an exponential growth. Because that's what happens. Reps after reps after reps after reps. It hockey sticks. And you get so much better than everyone else that there's no comparison. But when it comes to that wheel, you can look at your friends as your spokes, right? And if you have 3 different spokes that are extremely solid, that's almost unbreakable. I'd rather have 2 spokes that are extremely solid instead of 15 different spokes that could break at any moment. And that's what you're doing with this little circle of friends. It makes you feel good about yourself. It makes you feel good. You're like, look at all these friends that I have. But they're not actually friends. If they don't want to serve you and let you serve them, taking the information that you're giving them and you can all grow together, why would you want those people in your wheel? But it starts with your process. Because if you have a shitty process, the spokes, the friends that come out of it, that build the structure of your wheel, are going to suck. And for a minute, the only spokes that you're going to have are the spokes of just yourself. It might be just you. One spoke holding up that whole entire wheel. But if you become unbreakable enough, that one spoke can support the whole entire wheel. And then you start to add sturdy spokes, strong spokes, other friends that see your process and they want to attach to that process, right? And then you can start riding through life smoothly, consistently, no procrastination, no laziness, only relentless intention with an ambition to conquer every single one of your goals. But you have to be willing to sacrifice in the moment, because you will lose everyone in the process, in the journey towards your destiny. But if you build that foundation, that process, that axle of your life, which is the wheel, if it is strong enough, your mindset, habits, nutrition, and training are strong enough, you can support it for as long as you want with just one spoke. That one spoke being you. The highest version of you. The most upgraded, level 10, version 10 version of you. And no one can take that from you. No one can take that from you. They can take material things. They can take your clothes. They can take your house. They can take your car. But you know what they can't take from you? Your mindset. They can't take your habits from you. No. Nobody can take that from me. They can't take your nutrition from you. And all of you guys sitting on here and saying, I go to McDonald's because it's cheaper. You can eat healthy food for cheap. You just don't want to put in the research, and you're not willing to invest in someone who's done the research to serve it to you. You don't want it bad enough. Everything can be achieved. Every problem can be solved with enough effort. But it starts right there with the fact that you're not even willing to do it alone for a couple weeks because you feel lonely. You feel bad for yourself. It's cold when I wake up in the morning. Get your head in the game, bro. Do you think every single one of these men who wake up earlier than you, me, do you think my bed's not comfy? Do you think my body doesn't feel the same way that yours does? Simple fact is, I am not a pussy anymore. I've grown myself. But you're not even willing to take action. You just want some magic genie to come grow you and shape you so that one day you wake up and everything's amazing. When you stop wanting it unless it's hard enough, that's when you know you're on the right track. There's things that I want. You know, there's this car that I've been wanting for like 6 years. There's a house that like an ideal house that I really, really want, you know? But those aren't the things that get me out of bed in the morning. There's some motivation for me, sure. But what gets me out of bed in the morning is the people I'm serving, is my clients, the relationship I've built with them, seeing them text me day after day after day, getting such crazy results that they're like, dude, this must be illegal. One of my boys, Chris, literally sent me a picture, big old delts popping out, fucking veins coming out of his arms. And he's like, dude, the process I'm making, or the progress I'm making is absolutely illegal. He's like, it's so fast. Every single time that I think I'm done, I do 2 more reps, 3 more reps. He sent me, we were talking in the school community. I was reading from 2 Kings yesterday in the morning, just reading about Solomon's wisdom and how he was so wise, but he also squandered it later in his life. And Chris sends me a picture because, you know, what he started working with me and he's absolutely leveled up. He was already doing well financially, but his mindset was so poor that he was like, dude, imagine where I'll be when my mindset levels up. And he sends a picture in his apartment overlooking New York. I think he's in New York. And he's just like, man, what a wonderful day to wake up and conquer the day. There's nothing better than that. Even I love the accountability of waking up. It's 3:30 this morning. I'm texting in my school community, sending out a motivational post. And all my boys are also up. They're also up grinding. I'm at the gym. I'm getting notifications of like waking up, hitting this chest day, sending their pumps, sending their meals, talking about their mindset, the things that they're going through. Even the level that I'm at, the accountability makes me even better. So I understand why it hurts to lose those friends. But first of all, you have to be able to put in the work by yourself without the friends. Feel that lonely rock bottom moment. And then you either develop yourself through coaching or through just putting in the work yourself and taking a much longer time into that man, or you find a tribe to hold you accountable. You find a tribe, you find a mentor. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of people that are out here just trying to do you dirty, but there's a lot of people, so many people who actually want to impact. And that is why the world moves. But when you're in this stage of you're not good enough for your next people, but you're moving from your old friends and you feel lonely, you got to push. You have to push. You have to build that wheel. And once you become so strong that no matter what obstacle is in the road, no matter what mountain that you have to climb, no matter the rocks, the potholes, the pits, you're rolling right over it. You're staying steady. You don't even get hung up anymore like you used to because your mindset, habits, nutrition, and training are so strong. But you will lose everyone on the path towards your destiny. And that is because the man you are now, the baggage that you have, is not the man that you will be when you achieve your destiny. And if it was, you'd be achieving it now. Every single thing that is in your life, the place that you are in, is 100% your fault. Nobody else's. It's not the government's fault. It's not my fault. It's not your parents' fault. It's not your siblings' fault, your girlfriend's, your boyfriend's fault. I'm saying that for the 4% of girls that watch this. It's your fault. You are the reason. It's not because of your genetics. It's not because of the way you look. It is your fault only. You have every opportunity that everyone else does. And as soon as you lose that victim mentality of, oh, this has happened to me, you realize that the world is happening for you. Life is happening for you, not to you. You're just too damn stupid to take the struggles and use them as the stepping stones that you're supposed to level up. But when you do develop yourself to the point where you can find community, you can achieve that accountability that you need in your life, oh, your progress will just skyrocket. But you have to put in the work alone. You have to earn your stripes alone to make it to that level. You have to be willing to sacrifice. And sometimes, like I said earlier, you sow the seed to your friends. You want them because you care about them desperately. I love my brothers, a lot of them. But some of them just can't come with me, and I've given them every opportunity. Dude, you gotta grow with me. Dude, you gotta adopt this mindset. You gotta stop smoking. You gotta stop waking up, eating potato chips, sleeping halfway through the day. And I can't stay there with you. And I'm asking you to grow with me. Because where I'm going, I want you to come with me. But it's gonna be a sad day. Because already it's happening where I'm leveling up so fast that I can no longer spend my time with these people that are only holding me back. And one day they're gonna see it and they're gonna wish they came, but I'm sorry, you can't get back into my circle. I gave you so many opportunities. And I still will have love for them, but that's just part of the game. You gotta cut it off. If your right hand causes you to sin, chop it off. It's gonna hurt. You're gonna bleed. It's gonna be painful. It's gonna be scary, but you have to do it. You have to. There's no other option. If you want to be average, that's fine. But I know if you've made it this far in the video, you feel it inside of you that you're meant for more. You feel it inside of you that your potential is not anywhere near being met. You need it brought out. You need it brought out now. You will lose everyone on the path towards your destiny. But man, it'll be so worth it. When you get there, when you taste that sweet fruit, the fruit of your labor, it's still going to be hard, but you've found so much pleasure, so much joy in the uncomfortable things in life that you're in a constant state of growth. You're in a constant state of flow, impacting others, serving others. A selfless state where everything that you do exceeds your actual limitations, but your mind is able to achieve it because your purpose is greater than you are. Create the man that you know you were put on this earth to become, and serve the world as that man. And every single day that you go where you're not doing that, where you're wasting your potential, where you're telling your future family, you're telling your family right now, your kids right now, your future kids, I don't care about you. I'd rather sleep in. Can you imagine that? Your daughter looking up at you. She's like, Daddy, I'm hungry. But you chose to fucking sleep in? What kind of man are you? That disgusts me. When I see dudes that can barely provide for their family, I'm not one of these people that are like, oh, dude, I've had awful situations, but I've realized every single opportunity is there for you. The information is there. We live in a day of information. All the information is there. You just have to be willing to take risks, invest in it, or learn it yourself. And if you are so selfish that you cause everyone around you to suffer because of your laziness, and you sit there and you're like, I deserve a break, but you're sitting there fat with tits, or skinny fat, looking like you're built like a girl, walking around always pulling your shirt out because your little gyno nipples. It's not because you were blessed with some terrible genetics. It's because you can't control what you put in your mouth. You attract what you are. That's why your friends suck. And no, you're not going to attract people at a higher level yet unless you just surround yourself consistently. You find a community to hold you accountable that can bring you up. But until then, if you're doing it alone, you have to create the man that other high-level men want to be around and provide enough value that they will gravitate towards you, because you will lose everyone on the path towards your destiny. But all the opportunities are there for you. All of your struggles are little building blocks for you to step on, for you to conquer, so that you can become the man that you were designed to be. Are you going to keep sitting on your ass? How many more days are you going to keep sitting on your ass? You know you're not training as hard as you could be. You know your nutrition's not dialed in, whether because you're just lazy and you want someone else to do it for you, which is fine. That is okay. I understand taking the mental out of it and having someone say, this is what you need to eat, this, and this, to achieve that physique. And you achieve it and you get ripped up. You got abs, bicep veins. It happens just like that. You're not cursed. You work with me, you work with someone else who's knowledgeable, you will get ripped. But it all starts up here. And that's why I do these videos. Because the number one thing is mindset. Nothing changes unless this changes and the gears start turning differently and you form new neural pathways, new habits. Your nutrition and training, they're just the icing on the cake. The nutrition's the number one, 80% of what your physique looks like. And your nutrition also capitalizes on how clear you're able to think and how consistent you stay with your habits. So it's all a system. It all works together. But it starts with that mindset. And where that is built is in the trenches. When you have no friends, when everyone's left you, you're not good enough to make it to the next level yet, but you are still moving away from your old past. You need accountability, because you will lose, and I say it again, you will lose everyone on the path towards your destiny. But if it's truly worth it, you'll say exactly what I said to myself. I will sacrifice anything. I won't just put in the effort I think is required to achieve my goal. That is what losers do. They put in the effort that they think. They're like, this should be enough. This should be enough. Absolutely not. I will put in the effort that is required to make failure impossible. And I know for a fact I will achieve every single thing that I have created. I will fulfill the vision that I have created in my mind, because I reinforce it to myself every single solitary day through my mindset, habits, nutrition, and training. And that is why I'm able to make so much progress. whether it be by myself or with my amazing community, with all my elite clients by my side. We're leveling up every single solitary day, but I did it by myself as well. You have to build that, man, and you will attract so much greater figures, so much greater men than the ones that you lost. I love y'all, boys. Stay aggressive.